And hello, everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful day in April. Welcome back to our Facebook Live series celebrating Filipino entrepreneurs. And I am your host, Alvin Adriano. I'm really glad to be back here. I don't know if anyone's followed my feed, but last week I was out traveling, and these interviews have become something that I really long for. Really connecting and learning from the speakers and all the entrepreneurs that I bring on and participate in this series. I'm really fortunate to have met so many wonderful people and the most amazing stories and learn about the insights of how these people own their businesses. But today I have a very special guest. She is someone I have met through the virtual space. We haven't really connected in person, but I'm really fortunate to call her a friend. And she's just a really great person to learn from, and I really can't wait to bring her out. But before I do, I wanted to give a special shout out to Marie Valmonte from Kairu LLC, who 2 weeks ago I interviewed her, and she just gave an incredible interview about women empowerment and advocacy, and it's just so inspiring. She is just a lovely person, and it has just been a true inspiration for those who need life coaching or just even a mental mindset change. These times have been very tough on our mental state, and just hearing her experience has been just so uplifting. And if you haven't seen the interview, I really encourage you, all the viewers, to check it out and see how Marie and her company can help you mentally where you want to be. Before I forget, I want to remind everyone who is viewing this live to please hashtag live. And if you're watching on the replay, please hashtag replay. You can also drop where you're watching from so that we can see all the viewers and where you're at. So today, brings me today's special guest. This lady, or this entrepreneur, Phyllis Masaya, is nothing but ordinary. She's just a ball of energy, and she's just someone I truly admire. When I first met her, she was just fearless. She was direct, and her poise was just so inspiring. I knew she was going to make it, and I really wanted to mirror my business after her. But during her career as an entrepreneur, she's just really hit the ball out the park. Let me give you a little bio of what she is. Let me just recognize some people who jumped on the call. Jay, thanks for hashtagging live. Keisha, Marianne, Ray, Ryan, and Jay's from Texas. So yeah, everyone that's on the call, definitely tell us where you're at so we can just give you a special shout out for watching with us. But yes, Phyllis Masaya, she is the founder and owner of Masarap Lumpia. It's a Filipino soul food and Philippine fusion catering company that provides tons of vegan and plant-based options in Ventura County. She has been in business and licensed since 2009, and her business has been really to create was really a need created out of need of employment. She graduated from the California State University of San Marcos, CSUSM. So all the California heads, please give her some love. But at that time, and during this time, the economy was tanking. Many people were losing jobs. Companies were closing and leaving California. But after 6 months of trying to find a job, she created her own company, and she started it with her sister. She was really determined to find a solution, and in her dream, that's where most great ideas come from, her mother told her to do what came naturally, which was to create a job from that. The very next day, she started Masarap Lumpia. And honestly, by the end of the week, she was registered and she was a licensed business. So within a month, her and her sister were getting clients from all around through word of mouth business, from their natural networks, and the use of social media. So she was even amazed by how much support that she received during this time. Well, fast forward to 11 years later, and guess what? She's still here. She's kicking. She's better than ever. So before I bring her out, please help me and give her some love. Smash those heart buttons and give Phyllis the much needed love and respect by taking the time to be here today with us. So let's welcome the one, the only, the Ubi Queen, Phyllis Masaya. All right, let's see if Phyllis comes on. Perfect. How are you, Phyllis?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
No, I'm ecstatic that you're here. I'm really I can't wait for the viewers to hear your story and hear about your insights, because again, like I mentioned in the last interview, women entrepreneurs have a special place in my heart. My mom started this business, and to see women like you who are pushing through and being an inspiration for young girls, it's so truly amazing. Um, but yeah, I mean, I told the viewers about your bio, but why don't you tell the viewers from your perspective what it is that you do and about your company?
So, like you said, I started in 2009, basically out of the need of having a job. It was really a struggle. The economy was crashing. So many jobs were leaving California, and it was just so hard to really get any kind of job, even a part-time job. And after many months of struggling, I was praying. I was, asking God, asking and praying to my mother for some kind of advice. And she came to me in a dream and basically told me, do what seems so natural, what's easy, what you're good at. And the first thing that came up was, I'm going to make lumpia. And I went to my sister. She was also unemployed. She had just recently gotten laid off from her corporate job. And she said, yeah, why not? Let's do it. So we told our friends about our idea. We registered our business, and we just kind of took off from there. And we were lucky that we had people to support us. The Filipino community, the local community where we live in Ventura County. And we had a lot of friends. We still have a lot of friends in the underground hip hop world. So we got a ton of orders from those people. And it didn't hurt that Pacquiao was really popular, and every time he had a fight or there was some kind of sporting event, we would pretty much sell out of all of our lumpia and pancit.
Oh no, that's awesome. I mean, it's funny how hobbies or passions become what we want to do in life. And so you talked about your mother coming to you in your dream. Did you and your mom and your sister used to cook together in your household, or?
My mom was a really well-known caterer in Ventura County. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So the deal was my dad worked, and she decided she'd work from home in some kind of capacity. And the thing that came easy to her was cooking. So growing up, we always had people calling and saying, we want this, we want that. My mom was making smoked tinapa. She was making relleno. She was making pancit, lumpia, buchi. I mean, there wasn't anything my mom couldn't cook. So people would come to her. And so every week, every weekend especially, our house was filled with all these amazing smells of food. So it was just so natural for me to go to that. She would try to kick us out of the kitchen, and I would just find a way to sneak in and watch what she was doing. And she didn't realize, like, I was absorbing everything. So, yeah, we were surrounded by food. I mean, everybody would come to our house to eat. So that's the thing. That's the reputation we had. I mean, when people, like in high school and junior high, people would say, where are we going to hang out? And everybody would say, let's go hang out at Phyllis's house, because her mom's always cooking. There was never a shortage of food, and they knew that they were going to have delicious food.
Uh-huh.
So it was a really common thing. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, like, people don't realize how savory and the smells of Filipino food. And I'm in the travel business, but the first thing that people think about when it comes to culture is food. That's a common thing that we all have to do as humans. And when you can connect through food, I mean, it's funny how much nicer people are on a full stomach. So it's truly one of those things that puts people together and connects people. I know you talked about your business. You've been in business for 11 years. And I know things are starting to take off right now, especially now that I seen one of your posts where you're trying to get ube boxes in all 50 states. But can you tell some of our viewers what you're working on today?
So, a few weeks ago when I was discussing with my business coach, what I wanted to do with my vegan ube boxes, he and people in that particular container were suggesting, sending things out and experimenting. And that was just a few short weeks ago, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I was really like excited, but hesitant and nervous because there's so many things that go into that. People think, oh, just put it in a box, but there's so many, you want to make sure that you keep the freshness and the quality. And it's, those are factors you don't think about when you're just providing food locally and people are picking up locally. So I really needed that push and that encouragement. And now I'm pretty much completing the branding. I know what boxes I'm going to be using. I know how I'm going to be shipping. I know what the rates are going to be. Yep. I'm trying to make sure that everything stays high quality, fresh, delicious, and that I have a reliable way of shipping. And so far it's working out great. The only thing I'm really wanting to work on is making my box look as great as possible. So the moment people see it, even at a glance, they know what it is. And so it might be a crazy goal for people to think, oh, how is she going to do this? But I want to do 50 states in 90 days. And so far I have 5 states that I've sent to. Everybody says everything came out perfect. And I'm hoping to get the help from people watching, new followers, people interested in vegan food, in ube, in Filipino food, or even if they've never tried ube, I want them to be open to tasting this because it's delicious. I want this to become mainstream. So that's part of the reason why I really want to have my vegan ube dessert boxes get to the 50 states. And even if I don't hit that goal, at least I tried. Yeah. And I want this to be a collaborative, effort. I want people to participate and get excited. Being Filipina and Asian American, I didn't see a lot of people like me in media. We didn't see a ton of people doing creative things or the arts or cooking.
Oh, so I think Phyllis is having some issues technically, but we will wait for her to come back on. One thing I know for a fact that Phyllis's ube brownies are wonderful. And if you don't know, I can tell you personally, because when I arrived back from Turkey, I was surprised to receive a box. And that box was full of ube brownies. It was something that I was so enamored by, because when I got back, all I was eating was Turkish food and plain food. And so when I opened the box, and to my surprise, I mean, the brownies were moist, they were delicious. My kids and I were fighting over it. So it's all, it was an amazing thing. Oh, okay. I think Phyllis is back on. Let me go and pull her back on. Let's see. Here she comes on right now. Hey, we lost you for a second. You okay?
I'm back. Can you hear me? I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep, I think we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hopefully there's no more interference.
No worries.
Sorry about
Actually,
that. I don't know
when we dropped you, I was telling all the viewers about my experience when I came back from Istanbul, and I was so excited to receive your box full of ube brownies, and me and my wife were just so excited to eat them. Then we just demolished them within like an hour or so. So, I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, from personal experience, it was just great. And while we're at it, I wanted to recognize some of the people. Some of your fans are actually on the call right now. I see Keisha. She said her ube brownies are the best. Citadel, she's here, #live. Poga Pierre, #live. Jay, Passion for Profits. And Jay, actually, he said he just ordered my ube dessert box just now. So you've got tons of fans here. And for those who are watching, or those watching on the replay, I definitely ask you to hang on till the end of the call or end of the show, because we got a special surprise. Oh no, we lost Phyllis again, but no worries. Let me go ahead and give you some information about Phyllis that she does. So again, she is a female entrepreneur. She works out of Oxnard, California, and she's been dedicated in selling or creating a Filipino fusion for soul food. But the soul food is really based on vegan. So if you guys don't know what vegan is, let me give you a quick information about vegan food. So vegan or people who do vegan food. Oh, okay. Let me put her back on. Phyllis, you on?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Perfect. I was just explaining to all the viewers about the vegan Filipino food that you do, and explaining that vegan Filipino food is a lifestyle that avoids animal ingredients such as meat, sea life, eggs, dairy, honey, and all which are products of suffering and exploitation. Fortunately, many foods from the Philippines are packed with favorable spices and fruits and vegetables, so they are just as delicious without the use of animal-based ingredients. Dairy, honey, and all which are products of suffering and exploitation. Can you hear me? Fortunately, many foods from the Philippines are packed with favorable spices and fruits and vegetables, so they are just as delicious without the use of animal-based ingredients. Oh no, we're losing her. Well, hopefully she can come back on. Um, but one thing I wanted to tell all of our viewers now is that when you do order from her, her stuff is really it's really just great. The ube box is just something that you'll enjoy, and it's something that I would bet my money on. And if you guys are interested in ordering her ube box or ube dessert box, please hashtag ube brownies in the comments so that we can make sure that she can get to you or DM you and about the details. Okay, let's see. There she goes. Are you good?
Sorry, when I kept returning, it kept duplicating. So there
Oh,
was an echo. And I tried to close down the window, and every time I closed down one, it would ultimately shut me out. So I had to close down both. So
oh, no
hopefully you
worries.
can hear me and
No,
we can
no, it's
continue on
fine.
with no interruption.
We just have to like figure it out. So no worries at all. One thing I do want to ask you about your business. Many restaurateurs, many catering businesses were affected by the COVID or the pandemic. You know, for you, what was your experiences and what are the things that you learned about how to pivot your business? Could you share that with our guests?
Definitely. I was used to catering larger portions, bigger events, and I used to selling mostly frozen lumpia. That's basically how my business started, was selling frozen lumpia and selling fried lumpia and pancit and fried rice trays and adobo trays. And people were starting to ask me, can I just buy a plate? And I said, well, that's not really how my business works. And I was getting a lot of that. And I kept asking myself, like, what am I doing? Like, this is a missed opportunity. What can I do? So I basically created a system of setting out a weekly schedule where anybody could order anything off of my catering menu. But I had this menu weekly schedule that would have a pop-up sale where they had an opportunity to buy combo meals. So people could buy a chicken adobo combo meal. It came with chicken adobo over rice with 3 fried lumpias and sweet chili sauce. And I would just do combo plates like that, just so people who've never had Filipino food or who had very little experience with Filipino food can actually taste my Filipino food, and that would reel them in. So I did that enough where people started buying from me weekly or monthly and on a regular basis. And because they were sharing it on social media and posting it in their stories, I would get a ton of business from their friends and family. So that's how I've had to pivot. And so now I do a mix of, selling combos and selling large catering trays.
So, I mean, again, one thing about the pandemic that we had to realize is that whenever there's a crisis, it's time to innovate. There's always new opportunities that we don't think about. And it's entrepreneurs like us that have to think about these things that most people don't really have to worry about. And it shows that because of that, you are surviving and you are thriving in this things and finding new ways to create revenue for yourself. I just want to recognize some of the people on here because you got tons of fans. Jay just said that he suggests a purple box with gold accents. So that might be something in the future that you'll get into. One of my friends from Jersey, Ryan Orden, he just said, send some to Jersey. So we'll definitely have to reach out to him and get Jersey a state that you already have or?
No, I don't. That would be a new one.
We got one. So again, for everyone who's on the call or who's watching live or on the replay, definitely hashtag Ube Brownies, and we'll reach out to we'll have Phyllis reach out to you so you can be part of her mission to 50 states or in 90 days. We also have Keisha here. We love you guys. Citadel, keep it up, Phyllis. Can't wait. Your vegan Ube Brownies invade the whole U.S. to represent Filipino dessert too. Dia is hashtag live. She's just hashtag Ube Brownies. And again, all of our viewers and those watching on replay, please give some much needed love for Phyllis for being out here and sharing her story. For entrepreneurs, just in general, you've had a history of 11 years of running your own businesses. What are some insights or some tips that you can give to these future entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting their own businesses?
I would say make notes of what it is that you admire about certain businesses. Definitely write down your mission statement and why you want to do this particular business and how it would improve your life and maybe the community. I think when you do a business and it's coming from your heart, you really exude that. People feel it and they respond to that. Do a lot of research and, see what you don't like and see what you do like. And if you have to, reach out to those business owners and maybe ask them for some tips. I don't think anybody ever has a smooth road in entrepreneurship. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be learning a ton. And that's pretty much what it is you have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to learn and you have to be willing to fail, because in order to be successful, failure is definitely part of that process. And if you're scared of failing, then this might not be the thing for you.
Oh, that's some truth right now. I think a lot of people think that overnight success for entrepreneurs is just like that. Everyone wants that, hit and run story where they make money overnight and all of a sudden they're millionaires. But the truth of it is that you have to fail. These are the stepping stones for success. And exactly. For you to share that with all of our viewers is really, really important, because people don't realize failure is just another step towards success. And so I'm so glad that you said that. We talked about how important it is to have a support group. And you mentioned earlier that you had a coach. For me, I earlier put a post on how important my wife was to my business and how it was important to surround myself with a community. And could you give an insight about how important that is to build yourself a community of positive people, and why is it important to have people who can coach you and get through tough times?
Oh, most definitely. Being an entrepreneur, especially working from home, it can get very lonely. And in your little bubble, you don't realize sometimes how people look and view you. And sometimes your worst thoughts are what stay in your head, even when you're being successful. So having a support group that can, be your sounding board, they can be your cheerleaders, they can be your advisors. That's a very vital thing. I know that if it wasn't for the support of my husband, I really don't know if I could have gone on. He is so helpful. If I needed last minute ingredients, he would run to the store for me. If I needed him to drop something off for me, he would do that for me. And then I started growing this community of makers and foodies through my social media, and the people who were like fans and then became clients, and then they became friends, and getting that encouragement day to day and be week by week has been so helpful, because they're the ones who tell me, we really loved what you did last week, but maybe work on this. And some people will say, can you show us more of like your cooking videos and like the process of making things? And so they're the ones telling me what I need, and I respond to that. And then now getting a business coach who specializes in social media marketing has been so amazing. I never thought in a million years I'd have a business coach. I always thought that was for bougie people, But what I did is people who want to get somewhere, they ask somebody who's an expert, who has more knowledge than you do, And so that's what I said to myself. I said, I'm seeing this guy everywhere on social media, and I see that he's helping people and changing their businesses and changing their lives. I want that for myself. And so, I was, seeing him more and more, and I was like, let me just think about it. And then it got to the point where I said, I need to get on this. I don't want to miss this train. And so doing that, I didn't realize not only did I get a business coach, I got a whole community. I have this beautiful family, this SMBG family, and this container where so many magical things happen. And that kind of encouragement from people who are going through what I'm going through, I can have support from friends, but the people who are entrepreneurs who know exactly what it is to be a business owner and the struggles, because you're wearing so many hats. You're working sometimes till late in the night. You're working more than 40 hours when you own a business, and people think, oh, this person can vacation whenever they want because they own the business. That's not always true. That's where we're striving to go, is to have that freedom, because you want to have systems in place that are going to work for you. And sometimes you are so overwhelmed. And when people are there to support you and to help you, it means the world. If I didn't have this support, I couldn't have gotten this far. I don't think I would have ever thought of going national with shipping my stuff if it wasn't for the support that I'm receiving from all these people. So I say it's so vital. And if you don't have those people, be your own support system, and then find your tribe, because you're not going to be successful if you don't have those things in place.
No, I definitely agree with you. Surrounding yourself with positive people, because if it was easy to be an entrepreneur, everyone would do it. And it's difficult. And, we go through things that people just don't imagine about. Like you were talking about boxing and making it fresh, and people don't think about that thing. They think about this. They just want the glory, but they don't really understand the story that goes behind everything that you do and all the decisions that you have to make. And one of the things that I really wanted to point out is that your vulnerability and sharing that your story, that you do need people to help you. And that's part of the process too. You can't do everything by yourself. You can't think that you're going to make $1 million without the help of someone else, whether it's your partner, your spouse, your children, a coach, friends. You'll need somebody at some time, and reaching out and having those people beside you, around you, is pertinent to your success. So before we keep going on, again, please stay on. We've got a special surprise from Phyllis, who will be giving us a great surprise for everyone. And if you guys are part of or haven't tried Phyllis's ube brownies, definitely hashtag ube brownies so we can have her reach out to you. And just like any entrepreneur that's on the call, or who's ever felt alone, or maybe just unmotivated at certain times, if you need a business coach, just hashtag business coach, and then we'll reach out to you and try to figure out if we can connect you with the right people so that we can get you to the next level. One thing I also want to talk about is we talk about businesses, entrepreneurs, but as a person during this pandemic and everything that you've learned, what have you learned as your personal self that you can be successful? Just not separate the business, but what can you share to our viewers about your own self-development during these pandemic times?
I realized that self-care is really important, that your family is very important. And I realized that I am so much more powerful than I thought I was. I worked a local government job, and everybody says it's great to work for the government. There's stability. Mm-hmm. And well, yes and no. I mean, obviously, it's not that stable. Even during this pandemic, I got laid off. Mm-hmm. And I find that to be the biggest blessing in disguise. At first, I was thinking, okay, it's not a big deal. I'm going to get back to work. Maybe this is going to last a few weeks, maybe a few months. And after a week of, thinking everything's going to be okay, I got a little nervous. And I said to myself, I need to have a plan. So I created a plan of, I'm just going to sell some masks because right now that's the immediate need, mm-hmm. And I ended up doing that for 3 months. And I was able to help my family, help myself, and I was getting closer to my goals. And, I wasn't doing food. I pivoted to that first. And there was a great thing in doing that because I created a new base of clients that I can transition to my food business. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, like just trying these crazy ideas, there's no harm in doing that. There's going to be more good that comes out of that. Yeah, it's uncertain, but let's give it a try. And so knowing that I have that control and that power was so amazing to me. And so I'm hoping that people realize that they have so much within themselves to control their future and their security.
No, I mean, you're speaking truth right now. Again, one thing that I want to key in is like, people don't realize sometimes you get into a business and it's not the right business for you. You have to keep looking to find your success. And even though we fail, you just have to learn. You just have to learn for yourself. I want to go into this time and just recognize some of the people who are on the call. Keisha, hashtag SMBG, Citadel, hashtag SMBG, Jay Kino, everyone wants the glory, but no one wants to create the story to the glory. Here, Marielle Cabin, love the idea that you have to find your tribe to help you strive for success. And we have people here, I mean, who really understand the difficulties of running a business. So if you had to say that was one thing that you can give as insights for your final thoughts, Phyllis, what would you say to our viewers right now?
I would say do everything that you want to try. Like I, had a plan, when I was getting out of high school and going into college, I had a life plan. None of it happened. I mean, parts of it happened, but it didn't happen the way I wanted. And I'd be a completely different person if everything worked out, but that's not life. And I think you really need to find that fulfillment. It's great if you have a job and you make good money, but is that really your purpose? And in order to find that purpose, sometimes you have to do many things and you have to make mistakes. Some people, they'll find their purpose so early on in life, but not everyone is that blessed or that lucky. I was scared to follow my dreams and my purpose. I went to school originally to become a researcher. I majored in biology, pre-med, because I wanted to work in medicine and science. And I ended up getting a degree in art and doing something more creative. But all of those things helped shape me. If I was afraid to try things, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm not saying that I'm super successful or that I'm rich, but I know I'm on the right track because I'm happy and I feel fulfilled. And that's something that money cannot buy.
Oh, definitely. I mean, when you have your passions and you work for yourself and you know what your purpose is, you don't work. It's just like an enjoyment because you hit it right. It's fulfillment, and that's what people don't realize, that what we do as entrepreneurs. Yes, there's money, and there, people can do that, but there's other things more important than money that really sets us apart. And so again, I really thank you so much, Phyllis, and for taking the time to be here today. I know you're very busy, and I'm sure we're going to fill up orders for you. And would you like to tell all of our viewers your special gift or your special surprise?
Yes. Thank you very much. So I thought it would be a great thing to reward everybody who's watching and is watching towards the end, even with all the hiccups, my technical hiccups. But I wanted to let you know to comment, hashtag live replay. Tell us why you love ube or why you love Filipino food, or if you've never tried it, why you'd like to try it. And we will send you one of these boxes. This is my box that I send out my vegan salted ube brownies. I created this recipe on accident. And it actually turned out really well. And so I send out a dozen of my brownies in this kind of packaging. I don't know if you can see it. And it says, "Thank you for supporting my small business." And I'll send it to you like this. So one lucky person today who was watching and commenting will get one of these sent out later today or tomorrow. So we want you guys to definitely enjoy this and experience this. And I want you to spread the word about my 50 states in 90 days. And I want to feature and highlight Filipino food, and especially things like ube that I think a lot of people would enjoy. So let me know what you guys think.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Phyllis. Like, I had to go to Istanbul for I got a free one. So now you're giving it free on this live. So again, for all the viewers out there, if you want a piece or you want a free box, please like, comment, share. And at the end of the day, Phyllis is going to reach out to one of the random viewers and send a free box. And again, one thing that I forgot to mention is that if any of the viewers want to reach out and see or connect with you, how would they do it? Do you have a website? Do you have social handles? How can we do it?
The best way to reach me would be Instagram. It's Masarap_Lumpia, and I'll put it in the comments below. The other way is through Facebook. You can go find Masarap Lumpia. It'll be at Masarap Lumpia 805, and you'll find my business page. I also have a Masarap Lumpia group that you could always join, so you could see updates on the things that I'm offering. And you could also add me on Facebook. My name is Phyllis Masaya-Kerley. So if you just put Phyllis Masaya, it should pop up. I'm the only Phyllis Masaya in the world, as far as I know. So you can add me that way. And definitely, if you hashtag ube brownies or vegan ube dessert box in the comments, I will reach out to you and see if you'd like to order.
Perfect. And I'm telling you, all the people who are watching, you're not going to be disappointed. You're probably going to order more. So it's wonderful stuff. I'm so glad you came out. I want to personally thank you again, Phyllis, for coming out and sharing your story. Again, thank you for being and spending the time and sharing your insights of being an entrepreneur. All right.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here.
So now for all the viewers on here, as much as I thank for all the guests that come out, I really want to thank all the viewers who spent this time in the middle of the day to listen to Phyllis and hear her story about being an entrepreneur. It's very hard, as you can from Phyllis's story. There's a lot of things that get involved into entrepreneurship, and it's worth it though. But you have to put yourself around people who can support you, who believe in you. And it's one of the things that we learn as entrepreneurs, to have thick skin and to make sure that you keep striving for success. I know it's been a difficult time for everyone. And I really appreciate everything that you're doing. If you're watching this live, please hashtag live. And if you're watching on the replay, please hashtag replay. If you do want ube brownies, please hashtag ube brownies so we can make sure Phyllis can reach out to you. Last but not least, learning from others is really an important thing. And as Filipinos, we must take this opportunity to support small businesses like Phyllis and Masarap Lumpia. Next week, I have another powerful woman. Her name's Miko Sumalong. She is just a delightful person. She's a digital creator, an entrepreneur, a freelance consultant who works with many people, coaching and developing their skills to monetize their hobbies. So if you know anyone in the creative space or in the consulting space, please watch next week. She is someone who I truly, truly admire, not only because she develops Filipinos in the US, but also because she goes back home to the Philippines and encourages entrepreneurships for local Filipinos. The interview will be at a later time because, again, she's traveling back and forth to the Philippines. But check back with us on April 21st, 2021 at 9 p.m. East Coast time and 6 p.m. Pacific time. One last thing, I know I have this platform and it's important for me to support Filipinos, but I have learned through a nonprofit organization that I volunteer for, PhilPro, the Filipino Young Leaders Program, that we need your support. As a voice in the community and as a leader to some, I find it really important to volunteer my time to help mold, educate, inspire the younger generations. Working with PhilPro has allowed me to do that and reach some of the most wonderful young Philams that I've ever met. With that said, I would like to ask all the viewers who are listening, who are live or on the replay, for any support or volunteer time that you could offer. We are looking for go-getters, people who are innovators, any Filipinos who can help volunteer a portion of your time in some of our projects this summer or in the fall. See, experiences like this are truly a life-changing experience and will only help you find direction and purpose. So you'll be able to network and align yourself with some top professionals in all industries. And it's just a really great bunch of people. So if any of the viewers are interested or you know someone who would be a great candidate, please hashtag PhilPro, which FYLPRO, and let me know so that I can reach out to you and we can do something together. Our community, it gets stronger each and every time we unite. I hope this is the very reason that our community will define itself. And I hope in the future that we can support all Filipino businesses. So again, my name is Alvin Adriano. I'm a Filipino entrepreneur, an advocate for our community. And if you love what you hear today, please hashtag celebrate and let's keep this train going. So again, thank you so much for joining us here today on Celebrating Filipino Entrepreneurs. Till next time, guys.